In this episode of Foster Denovo Talks, we meet with Hayley Mills. Hayley talks to us about her absolute love for the development of people and staff.
They've been promotion. They've just been pushing them to their absolute potential and getting them to where they want to be. So it's just sort of getting to the core of what gets them, what really intrigues them. So that is really rewarding.
Her love of AI and all the different projects that we've given her here at Foster Denovo in the short 11 months that she's been with us.
We've just been building it to sort of fit our company. It will record and transcribe a meeting, and then we can generate any type of report from that. I've done acquisition work.
Yes.
So we've got obviously the Hampshire acquisition. I've been basically practice managing for them, as well as my team leader job.
So do check it out. Hi Hayley, thank you for joining me on Foster Denovo Talks.
Thanks for having me.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Hayley Mills. I am the client experience team leader. I've been in the company 11 months now, which doesn't seem that long, but it feels like forever.
I was going to say 11 months blows my mind, but let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so let's talk about Hayley's early career. So how did you start work? What were you doing? Because you are young, so...
I am, well, I like to think I am still. So my first job was actually McDonald's. I started working there when I was 14.
Wow, okay.
But they never actually asked my age or anything. So I turned up one day to a shift and I was in my school uniform. I was like, I'm just going to quickly get changed. And they were like, whoa. So then they had to put my career on pause.
Okay.
And I started once I finished my GCSEs again. But yeah, I've always been really work driven. I've always wanted to work, and that suited me because I was going to college. When I finished college, the course just wasn't for me, and I ended up going full time at McDonald's and went on the management course. So
one of the best, they say.
It really was.
They really say that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was 16 years of age on the management course, and I learned a lot from that. I really did, from every element of how to sort of talk to people, to confidence, sort of conflict. It was really, really rewarding.
So you were working at McDonald's. So how long did you work there for?
I worked there for 3 years.
Okay.
And so that took me up to about 18.
Okay. And what made you move? What was because you were on the management course, or, you're going for it?
Yeah, I wanted an office job.
Okay.
I really wanted to sort of have a sort of more career, rather, not that McDonald's isn't a career, but I really wanted to sort of take myself further, which then took me into financial services.
Okay.
And there I started off working for a third-party administrator company for SJP, and I was doing inbound calls, so I was managing all of the calls of valuations, transaction histories, answering questions to other wealth managers, and but yeah, that gave me a real good insight to product knowledge, and again, I managed to use sort of the ability to communicate with customers and
because it's all customer based, isn't it? You're on the phone talking to people all the time and all the rest of it.
So one after the other. So yeah, it was really fast paced, and you didn't get a second to, as soon as one call dropped, another one came in, and it's.
I can imagine it was ferocious. So how long were you doing that for then?
I was doing that for a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I went travelling to Australia for a year.
Oh, lovely.
So at that point I was 20.
Okay.
And then I came back and I went back to the same company. I went into written inquiries, so then I got exposure to a different element of financial services. So took a lot on from that as well. I did that for a year and a half, and then I went to the dealing team. So then even more exposure in a different.
Right.
So I just wanted to know everything. And the thing about financial services is you can never know everything.
Yeah.
So that's what kept me gripped. It was like a sort of challenge, but a challenge I just kept going and trying to find out more. And just when I thought I knew everything in that role, then things would change. Like the like ISA limits or whatever. And I'm like, I need to learn that again.
So you were on the dealing team. So what was that doing then?
So that was placing the trades.
Okay.
So the money coming in and then you're making sure that it's placed in the right funds, withdrawing the funds and sort of paying that out. So
Okay. And was that all at SJP, or had you moved somewhere else to do
this
that?
was still the third party administrator
Okay.
called IFDS, but SJP outsourced their admin. So,
Right.
So yeah, it was all within that company.
Okay. So you were with them quite a long time then.
Yeah, I was, and I learnt a lot from that. But then I had the appetite to learn more.
Right.
So I took I took myself to an IFA, which was quite local to me, and there I did the client, just like client administration. So then I was talking to clients. It was a whole range of things. So I would talk to them. I'd do all of the platform work, place their trades, and do all of their review prep and follow-ups. And then I got a taste for that. So I was there for just under 2 years, and I wanted to progress further.
Yeah. I'm getting there's a theme here,
There is
isn't
a
there,
theme.
Hayley?
So then I went to London,
Okay.
which was my first job in London. That was at Handelsbanken, and I was 24. Really enjoyed my time there. I was there for 4 years. I got a lot of client exposure. So I covered 3 client directors who are the equivalent to advisors.
Yeah.
And they were in Scotland, Leeds and Newcastle. So
you'd gone to get a job in London.
I went to get a job in London.
And then you're servicing 3 people that are not in London.
Exactly that, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, this was pre-COVID, so the 5-day a week in central London. So I was doing that commute, and then if I had a road trip, I would often extend it and then go and see all 3 of them. Or I was on the road quite a bit, and I think I put it down to having age on my side at that time. I don't know how I didn't burn myself out quicker. But that was fantastic. I really enjoyed the client exposure and sort of getting to know the clients and having that personal relationship, because the previous roles that I'd done, especially sort of my first role in financial services, it was just call after call after call. You couldn't build a relationship. Yeah. And whereas this role, I could then remember when their next review comes up, I'm like, oh, I actually saw them at their last review and they were talking about buying a second home. So I'd put that in the notes, and it all just sort of rolled into building this really sort of valuable relationship with the advisor and myself, and knowing that they know they can rely on me as well and have my number and email me to ask what's going on, and I'll know exactly what's going on. So yeah, that was a really varied role. I wrote reports as well, so I'd write the recommendations.
So now we're moving into power planning as well. Right, okay. There's another string to the bow here, okay?
Exactly that, yes. So again, I then went on the management course there.
Okay.
Constantly chasing them more. I'm just a never-ending machine.
Well, we know that from you being here. So then you started writing reports. So then you're doing your power planning as well. Mm-hmm. And how long did you stay at Handelsbank then?
I was there for nearly 4 years.
Okay.
So yeah, a long time through COVID and all of that. So obviously with COVID comes no more client trips and everyone working from home. We started to sort of lose people, and there just wasn't backfilling. So then I kind of lost my love for that.
Right. Okay. So that's okay, because I was going to ask you how it changed things, but obviously you weren't going anywhere, etc. And they started to lose some clients, did they? And then and losing staff.
Well,
were they?
losing staff.
Right.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of the bank side of things, they started closing the actual banks and merging, and people being made redundant. So it's a little bit sort of unsettling, and then staff were leaving and no backfilling, and we changed CEOs a couple of times. So that then just
makes you feel unsteady, doesn't it?
Unsteady, and the company, it grew, but this is where it comes to sort of with FD and the culture. It used to have a really big culture at Handelsbanken, but as it grew, we went from being a person to a number.
Right.
And everyone, you just knew that anyone was replaceable. Obviously, like, you're not silly, like, that's a possibility anywhere, but it really felt like that all of a sudden. So then
You thought that's my time.
That's my time.
Writing on the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did you go then?
Then I went on to SJP.
Okay.
So I've gone from obviously the third party administrator and then into SJP. So there I was a practice manager. So I kind of, again, had a really varied role of writing the reports, and I was, managing the practice and sort of keeping everything up to speed and clients in the loop and placing their trades. And so, yeah, that was really varied.
Okay, yeah. So you just weren't aligned at that time. Okay, but then their loss is our gain, right?
Exactly
So
that.
happy days is all I can say for us. So you joined Foster Denovo. And what was it about Foster Denovo that made you think, right, this is where I want to be, this is the role I want to be doing?
So, obviously every company is the culture buzzword, which is a very big buzzword in every company, but whether it's true or not, you never know. But obviously the Investors in People score, that speaks for itself.
Yep.
Obviously where we're platinum, 3% of companies worldwide, you can't really...
I think it might be 4. I'm not sure, but I think it might be 4. Yeah. We'll have to get rid of those. It's fine.
Yeah. So I looked into the company, the size of the company. That's my sort of happy place where you are a person and not a number. And I thought, I think this place is for me. So I came in for my interview. I did a couple of interviews via Teams and I quite liked it. And then I met Ali, who's obviously my boss now. And it wasn't the role that I actually went for.
No.
But I met Ali and I come away thinking I really liked the feel of that, because she's obviously been here from nearly day one. And just the conversation just really rolled. And when she sort of proposed a different role, I was like, that's actually perfect for me, because I love being a team leader. I love teaching people things. I love getting to know people and their learning styles. So, and yeah, literally from the get-go, I think my first or second day, I just sat because obviously it's hot desking.
Yeah.
You don't know especially in a new company, you don't have a clue who does what. So you're just sat at a desk and you don't know. So I was actually sat alongside Helen, and she was just sort of chatting away to me, telling me about like her early day career. And I thought, oh, she seems like a lovely lady. Little did I know she's the COO. So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like everyone was just so approachable, so happy. And I think that's a shock to sort of everyone that's new, that people are genuinely happy and really just sort of everyone wants to help everyone.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And actually, you were quite an anomaly or exception in our company, because we don't tend to take people on unless they're at the sort of most junior level in admin, because we tend to find that we like to grow our own, and that's sort of our stance on recruitment and then developing staff, etc. But you came in at quite a senior level, and I think I can't think of anyone else that we brought in at that level, apart from maybe one other practice manager, in the last 4 years or 5 years. So it's quite impressive. And you have just slotted in. It does feel like you've been here forever.
Yeah.
But you came in, so we changed the role on you. We said, actually, that's not right. We're gonna do something else. So you came in. What was the first title that we gave you? Because I think we've given you quite a few in the 11 months that you've been here.
So there's still talks about changing my title.
Lovely. Okay.
But we haven't quite found the title that represents what I do.
Well, I'm not surprised at that. But we started with, did you come in as team leader?
Came in as team leader.
Okay. And so that's involved, I mean, how many people are you managing now?
10.
Okay. All right.
10 and their partners.
Yes, exactly. So you're managing the 10 admin staff and obviously overseeing the advisors that they work with, the partners they work with as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have a very tight relationship with all of them, because I need to understand how each advisor works so I can help get the best out of their support.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's challenging, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
And where I've worked with so many different advisors through the years, and sort of, you know, the high maintenance ones, the low maintenance ones that you actually have to chase them. So you get like the two ends of the spectrum. I understand that, and I've had so much exposure to that. So it works perfectly to then sort of teach that to someone else and get the best way of working out of them.
Yeah, and you are a real people person, and you said it before, but you really like developing people, don't you, and training and seeing them move up. I mean, how have you done that with the guys that you've got so far?
Oh, they've been promotion. I've just been pushing them to their absolute potential and getting them to where they want to be. So that is really rewarding, because, you know, when some of them are just fixed on the idea of, you know, like entry level, they tend to come in and I want to be an advisor.
Yeah.
They don't understand, you know, there's so many different avenues, which I think I came in and thought I want to be an advisor, but actually, like, I'm in my happy place. So it's just sort of getting to the core of what gets them, what really intrigues them, not just what paycheck do they think is going to pay the best.
Yeah, no, it's very true, because people don't realise, do that, there's so many different facets of what you can and can't do. Okay, so you started as team leader, and then we thought, oh, she can do a bit more for us. So what else have you been doing since then?
So I've done acquisition work.
Yes.
So we've got obviously the Hampshire acquisition. I've been basically practice managing for them, as well as my team leader job. Then I took on the client feedback.
Okay, what's that? Tell us about that.
So client feedback, what we do is any new client or any review client, we send out an email with a link for a survey. And it's just a short survey where it just sort of asks them how their experience has been. So the surveys are different depending on the circumstance, but it's just so we know either what we're doing right so we can keep doing it, or what we could improve on.
Yeah.
And then what we do is when they come back in, we contact every client that writes back to us to thank them for completing it. Anything that's sort of below the score of 7 out of 10, we will give them a call. Well, Joe Butler will give them a call to sort of ask, you know, what can we do better? What can we do to
7 out of 10, so that's
rectify?
quite high though, isn't it, still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really important to us. And then I have regular catch-ups with sort of upper management and compliance to just review all of the feedback. I collate it all onto a log, and then we go through it, and then we're like, right, what do we need to do to be better, or we're really doing this well. And I actually had the meeting yesterday, one of the monthly meetings, and they're majority 10s. So,
I mean, it's amazing. It's our MPS score, which we're obviously super proud of. And that, okay, so we got you to do that as well. So that's lovely. Thanks very much. But you still haven't done enough for us. That's what we clearly decided. So we thought, well, let's give her a bit more work. So what else have you done? I mean, there's one very exciting thing that you've been looking after, haven't you? That if we don't talk about, we'll both be sacked, I think. So Evie, she's back in the room.
Yes, she is. Evie is my sidekick. She's part of my life. But so Evie is an AI note taker for advisors. So we've had this from September time. So I was still pretty new and poking around to see what I could involve myself in.
you're like, well, it's still like me. I can do it. We're like, I'm sure you've got enough work, haven't you? But yeah.
So we've just been building it to sort of fit our company. So we outsource, but we get them to tweak it to how we like it, get our company logos put on things, and really sort of train Evie how to relay information. So it will record and transcribe a meeting, and then we can generate any type of report from that. So whether that's an email template follow-up, which will just be, it will extract all of the sort of useful information from that meeting and put it into an email template for the advisor to then sort of put into an email. It will cover off everything that's really sort of things that the advisors, you know, if they're taking the notes by hand, they're not going to capture that amount of information. So it just gives them the ability to go into this meeting and completely full focus on the client, and they don't need to worry about anything else. They don't need to sort of hold a client so they can catch up. And so, yeah, it's incredible, the output and the reports.
I mean, advisors have been saying to me, and some of them that you wouldn't think would use it, right? Like the uptake is, I mean, I would say about 90% of our advisors are using it now. Every single one of them says it saves them an hour and a half after every client meeting. Like they wax lyrical about it. And you've obviously implemented this. You've done all the training for it. You're also teaching Evie how we want things done, aren't you, basically? So you're sort of training the AI tool in the way that we as Foster Denovo would want it done. It's quite exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And to see it go from sort of pilot stage to now across the company, and seeing people just naturally, it's just their go-to of just, yep, I've done that on Evie, and then task it over to paraplanners. They don't need to think about, oh, hang on, I need to, because it includes objectives, it includes their attitude to risk, everything that has been discussed, and it will strip out any sort of chat that they've just had, sort of it strips all of that out, and it will also, you don't have to talk in any order. It will just put it all, it will order it by itself.
Okay.
So yeah, it's brilliant.
Well, I know. I mean, that smile says it all, doesn't it? What would you say is the most sort of exciting part of your role? Because you have done a load of different stuff, and you do keep putting yourself up for doing more things. And we do have to sort of go, I'm not sure you've got any time left. So
I know Ali says she doesn't know how I find the time. I just literally, she's like, you just get on with it, and you don't hear a bean.
Do. You're always happy in the office. You're always smiling. You're always working incredibly hard. So, I mean, what do you find that what's the really exciting bit for you?
It's difficult to say because there's quite a lot of elements. There's all these different factors that
I know.
So it's probably seeing people thrive under my management.
I thought that would be you would just
but also see that whole connection between the admin and the partner, and all of a sudden things just click into place after I've sort of had a little prod around and telling the partner off, and then guiding just seeing that, and it's so nice to sort of, because you see the people that are young in their career that are new to it all, and how they sort of just all of a sudden the penny drops and they know what they're doing. So yeah, that's really rewarding, and also working with the partners and getting that sort of relationship is really important to me as well.
And final one then, where do you, and it's all right if you don't have the answer, I'm just throwing this at you, but where do you think you'll be in the next 5 or 10 years? Like what sort of a role would you like?
Watch out, Roger.
And we're done.
No, in all honesty, I don't know at the moment. I quite like to just go with the flow.
No, fair
Chase
enough.
the next thing.
Well, listen, we are delighted to have you. It's been brilliant. I can't believe it's 11 months, but thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.